We up and running? Breakfast first. Cables everywhere. Liquid breakfast this morning. Good morning, gang. Coffee, coffee. So. Solo print party, exactly. So where am I going to put this cup here? That's probably going to go cold. Who knows? Okay. Good morning. Those of you who are regular viewers know what's going on today. We're here in the famous party room at the Mokuhankan building in Asakusa, Tokyo. And we're going to be doing the test printing of the microwave. The print that will be taking its place on this bench very shortly. Maybe. What we're thinking of doing, even assuming this works out very well, we can use it, we're thinking of holding it back now for a while and just using it when we move downstairs to the new party room downstairs. So it will make its debut along with the new party room downstairs. No drinks near the print. So our 100% unbreakable rule whenever we are printmakers, there's no drinks at the printing bench at all. The boss is allowed to fool around a little bit. Okay, now we've got, usually our stream is 90 minutes, so this work shouldn't take me 90 minutes at all. The blocks, I think, are in pretty good condition. I could probably, if I ran through this, just bang, 5 minutes, there we go, good to go, out to next work. But I'm going to take this slowly and carefully and peacefully today. We'll explain a few things as we go along. I'm in no rush. It's going to be a busy day in the shop. The first party scheduled here will be for 10 o'clock, exactly 2 hours from now. So I've got to get my stuff done, get out, get rid of all these cables, and let the staff come in and get ready for it. And also, what I forgot to do last night was prepare some paper for this job. So we've got a bunch here of dry paper. Now there's no way I can prepare the paper, moisten it, and print it exactly right now. So what I'm going to do is, the staff last night prepared paper for today's print parties, of course. So there is paper in here prepared, ready to go. I'm going to steal it. I'm going to use that paper. But in order that they have some party paper ready for the print parties, I will moisten some more now and put it at the bottom of the stack so that they will have paper ready at 10 o'clock. So I think it's a good chance. You can see how we moisten our print party paper. This is not beautiful living national treasure washi paper. It's a machine-made washi paper. I don't know if that even qualifies as washi, but it's supposedly made from X% mulberry fibers, X% pulp. And it does fine at the print parties, you know. It absorbs the pigments really well, makes nice little prints. And the way we moisten it usually is this. I have a water bucket and what we call a mizubake. It's literally mizubake water brush. In the West, maybe the nearest thing to it would be what they would call a wallpaper brush. It's goat hair, nice soft hair. Now what I'm going to do, with this paper is, because it's a fairly dry day and the paper is fairly dry, I'm going to moisten it quite heavily, 2 sheets at a time. And what I do is 2 sheets there, and I get the next 2 sheets ready. And why I do that is this. On goes the moisture. If I don't do anything, that paper will crinkle and curl up. Let's watch just to see what happens. See, it's curling, curling, curling. So what I want to do is get it, keep it flat. And then once the next 2 sheets are ready, again, and straight on. Normally this is a fast zip, zip, zip job. It's 2, 2, 2, 2. The usual case for us is we moisten it the evening before. That gives it a beautiful chance to get soft and ready for printing. Okay, that's enough sheets for the first print party, so even if I use up too much here today, they will still have enough for what they need. There may be enough in there anyway. Okay, and what's on top there now, pull it forward a bit, is the paper that Kawai-san moistened, excuse me, fridge. I'll get it ready for my use here. And what I'm going to do today, because this is test printing, when we are doing a normal print run of 100 sheets, whatever, I've got an in stack and I've got an out stack. Because I'm left-handed, my out stack back in Ome, my normal printing bench is on the right-hand side. I hold my tools, I'll be rubbing a sheet, pull it off with my right hand, it goes on the out stack. So in stack print, out stack, in stack print, out stack. In the party room we don't do that. In the party room here we've got the paper comes out of the in stack, prints on this, and then goes down the line, down, down, down. And today what I'll do is simply, I'll pull each sheet out of here, take a print of it, I'll put it back up in here face up so you can see what's going on. This paper is sized the way we get it, and we don't size this paper. Like I said, this is not handmade washi. Let me get a sheet again. We just buy it by a giant deck. We buy it by thousands of sheets at a time. We have it cut to our specifications. It doesn't need sizing. It's a commercial machine-made paper. In fact, a lot of people who are buying this are not using it for woodblock prints. It's not a specifically woodblock print paper. It's just paper. Nothing to do with woodblock prints. But it works for our print party room. We wouldn't make prints on this and sell them in our shop. It's got X% of pulp in it. Maybe half pulp. I don't know. It's not a woodblock printing paper. It's a paper that works for us in the print party. Nothing to do with sizing. And what I'm going to do for this testing too, I'm going to use this same paper that we normally use for the print party. I'll use the same pigments we've got here, and I'm going to use the same barons we use in the print party, the Murasaki baron. I'm not going to bring my professional tools in here. It would be easy to make a beautiful print with the professional tools and paper, but that's not going to give a good impression of what the print will be like in a party. Okay, now that the paper's moistened, next step is let's start with the first block. I've still got the paper on it from the tracing, so that's got to come off. This is a blank brush I use. It looks like a printing brush, but this is the brush we use for cleaning the blocks. That's what it's reserved for. You can see it's going to get messy and dirty. This is the part where I usually discover that I've forgotten to carve a bunch of places, but who knows? This one looks okay. We'll see. Now, because this is test printing, I'm not just going to go through one impression, next block, one impression, next block, one impression. Test printing involves a few things. We're checking to see if the registration is okay, that the colors actually match each other. But also what I want to see is how are the colors going to balance with each other. So I'm going to do maybe 3 or 4 sheets here on this block before I switch to the next one. Food for the crows, yeah. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to try and make them all exactly the same color. Our normal work, of course, is we're desperately trying to keep everything exactly the same color as decided. This is test printing. So I'm going to make maybe 3, 4, 5 sheets here, and I'm going to vary things. Some of them are going to be lighter than others. That's the point of proofing, so we can get to the end of the stack here and see what might look good and what might not look good. That's my excuse anyway for having these next prints look different. Okay, paper is ready. Here we go. First brush, light blue. I've got some of the brushes, I pulled them from the printer's stack upstairs. I've got the 5 pieces of wood behind me, and we're going to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5 impressions that will happen in a real print party. Not enough paste, come on. My fan's roaring here. I don't know. Seems okay. Important little tips and tricks, I don't know. It's fun anyway. So, I mean, doing these streams like this, the overwhelming thought day after day, I think about this, if I had had access to this kind of information 40 years ago when I was first starting, where would I be now? Would I be any different printmaker now? And you can think about it different ways, If I had had access to good information, my progress would have been, I guess, quicker. I would have been able to do things faster and smoother. The downside for me, I think, and there is a downside, is I would have followed what I had seen on those streams. And I would have become more similar. What am I trying to say? As I would have become more standard. I would have done things in the standard way. And that's got good points and that's got bad points. I think I've become a sort of an independent, unique printmaker, and part of that is the reason is because I had to develop everything by myself. So, like Kantar is saying, you've got to learn problems by yourself. That's really an advantage, So I think it's case by case, person by person. There are people out there who don't need this kind of thing, like me. They could have dug through it themselves. It might take a very, very, very long time, but they will find the answer in the end. Then there's other people who will perhaps be more inclined to just follow the way it's done. They're going to, the kind of person who would go to a printmaking workshop, learn the way it's done, and happily have a career in that sense. There's all different kinds of people. Okay, now this, as I said, there's going to be 2 blues here. The final blue is going to be the key block and the dark blue. The blue we're doing here now is a lighter blue, but I don't know how light to make it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the tile. I don't know if you've seen this when you've watched me printing other stuff. Sometimes the pigment comes straight out of the bowl and goes onto the block. Sometimes it comes out of the bowl onto a tile, and we pick it up from the tile bit by bit so that we can put it onto the block literally in a lighter bit by bit way. That's what I'm going to do here at first, certainly at first. Once we're in the print parties here, what we will do after it's all decided is we will mix a lighter blue pigment in the bowl, because the print party attendees have no idea how to do these things. But today for testing, I want to control this. Oh, I forgot to get some scraps of paper. Hang on a sec, back in one moment, just a moment. Okay, just some normal copy paper. When we're doing a real test printing for our own work, we have, the test printing paper really is good washi. It's hand-rocked, Living National Treasure paper, and it's expensive. And when you're doing test printing, there's a few things that are needed to be tested. One is the tint and the color. One is registration, stuff like that. Now for the tint and color on this, for this first impression, look, let's do this. For this first impression, I'm going to use copy paper. And just ram it on. This just gives me a hint here about how light this blue is going to be. And this piece of paper will now be thrown away. It just gives me a hint about the lightness. Now right away, because it's copy paper, dry, it's picking up moisture, it's going to buckle and twist. So I can't use this as a registration test for the next block. It just simply shows me the tints. And I think that's a good place to start. So let's do this. Sometimes we place the pigment on the brush. Yeah, the pigment will also go on the brush sometimes. But again, right now I want to see it. I want to see what I'm doing. So white tile. The tiles, of course, are always white. The other thing we really haven't decided yet too is what the order of printing these is going to be in the print party. The first block is interesting for the people because they can't see the back, they don't know where to rub. They're going to be rubbing up in the top left, so we are absolutely going to have to guide them what to do. Can you see? Oh, you can see this, right? So interesting how it stains green. You're talking about the wood or here? Well, the paper is a bit yellowish, so it is going to get a bit of a green tint on this. And the wood, of course, wood being brown, has very much a strong yellow component in that color. So what we see on the block is never what we can expect to see in the finished print. Remember, the wood is brown. Pigment is on top of it. It's transparent pigment. We're seeing brown-based transparent pigment. So we can never look at what's on the block and think that's what we're going to see in the print. The paper's a bit yellowish. That's what it's going to be. The copy paper, you can see. Here, let's put those side by side. Look, 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 look. Look at this. So always, because this is totally transparent pigment, the base becomes part of the image, becomes part of the print. It's totally different from the Western way of working with opaque pigments. There's also the light too. This, what we're underneath here, this is a, they've probably got the Kelvin number if you're curious, I don't know where. These are not natural light. The lights we're under, these are actual light bulb lights. Where am I? And this one is a yellow cast. So, yellow tone on this bulb. So all these things come into play. These giant Kento corners. It's like playing with some kids' giant toys, you know. My kids had Lego and Duplo. This is like using Duplo. Camellia oil. We talked about this yesterday quite a lot. Now I think that's dark enough. I think I want a couple that are a bit lighter, so we'll pass on the color for a minute. just paste. We'll let this fade out for the next couple of impressions. I can also see too, we're going to have a problem here. Maybe I'm not. I'm a left-handed person, so I'm rubbing here. Can you see what's happening? I'm coming up here, and I've come a bit too far to the left. And already there's going to be a stain here. If I'm not careful, it'll stain the wood right here. Now, right-handed people can see that, but I think I'll end up having to cut much more off here, this zone. You'll have to shave this down. Take it down a bit more. That's another important point too. Even when you want to make the color lighter and lighter and lighter, you still need a bunch of stuff on the block. You can't just decrease the amount of product on the block. So if you want a lighter tint in the color, there still has to be lots of paste there. Why do Japanese techniques use a different opacity of pigment than the West? I'm not sure anybody here thought about why. They didn't say, Westerners do it that way, let's do it a different way. This is simply an organically developed technology here. The pigments they used were mostly natural, come from tree bark or roots or flowers and stuff like that. And the paper, of course, had the capacity of taking up water-based, excuse me, taking up those water-based pigments. So I'm not really sure that there's a why to it. It's simply that's the way it developed naturally and organically. Okay, now what I also want to do, we're going to do test printing in the sense we're going to make 4 finished prints, but I also want to put aside 1 sheet of each color just for a sample tone. So I'm going to do that now last. I'll put 1 more sheet here. We're going to make 4 prints plus a set of proof sheets. So I'm going to do 1 more and then set it aside. I guess I got to get going. What is it? 8:20 already. 5 impressions. We should be okay here. Yes. Right, that one's going to be kept. We'll just put it at the bottom of the stack out of the way. We'll dry it properly later. Find a space for it. Okay, now these 4 prints come flipping over. Something else important too, when we finish a color, I'm not talking about print party printing, but our normal printing. We print 1 face up, print number 2 face up, print number 3 face up. So the stack is face up for 2 reasons. One reason is so I can see each one as it's finished. Too dark, too light, where are we going? We want to inspect every one. And the second is what you just saw me do. I've got 4 sheets stacked face up, 1, 2, 3, 4. When I flip it over, number 1 is now on the top, ready for the next color. So we're always working from sheet number 1 right down the line. Okay, this block goes away. Next block. Now this is different from Hokusai's original concept. This is sky and boats together with 1 color. That's different from the original. We can't do a print party with 8 impressions. It just doesn't work. It takes way too long. Yeah, the oil and water thing, so in Europe, there were both techniques, printing and painting and whatever worked in Europe with oil and water. In Japan, there was never any oil stuff used for painting or printing. I don't know why. I don't know why. How far do you want to try and overanalyze this? They didn't eat meat very much back in Japan, so there weren't fats and oils around, perhaps. I don't know. I have no idea where it all came from. What am I doing here? Was that airbrushing? No, I was just cleaning up the block. This is a party room. If it was my own workshop, I just brush onto the floor, clean up later. But this is the party room. There's a party happening at 10. I cannot make a mess in here, so I just kept those little balls just onto the balcony. Yeah, Westerns had painting. Westerners had water-based stuff for tempera work, and what's that stuff they used to paint on ceilings with water-based things? They had oil pigments for canvases and paintings. Westerners used different techniques, all kinds of them. In Japan, both printing and painting worked with water-based techniques. I don't know anything about the history here, just simply I can't think of any examples offhand where the Japanese used oil-based color stuff. I don't know why. Again, I'm not a historian here at all. The West was all over the place, all kinds of different techniques. Okay, what have we got here? I stole upstairs from Ishikawa-san's workbench a bit of a sort of a woody type pigment up there. I think it might do. Not really sure. I want woody for the boats, but it shouldn't be too woody for the sky. So I don't know. We'll just try this first. That's what test printing is all about. And another brush. You're talking about the Japanese collector scene for oil paintings, but the Japanese painting system, when Japanese people do their painting, it's Nihonga, which is water-based pigments mixed with glue. Some modern Japanese painters use oils in imitation of other technologies. But Japanese organic painting, the traditional type of painting done here, Nihonga painting, is water-based. They don't use oils. Well, of course, in a modern art college now, they teach oil painting, this and that, etching, you name it, whatever. Okay, let's see. Again, to control, let's put it on the tile first. Looks like woody. Let's see. Might be too strong for the sky though. I don't know. Let's see. There's the boats, and let's see what the sky looks like if we do that. We're doing this a bit backwards, I didn't put the key block in. Normally for us, for test printing, I'd put the key block in first, bang, and then put the colors and see where the registration fit. But what I'm doing as a tester now, this is a test of the way we would do it in a print party. In a print party, we can never put the key block on first because it smears when you immediately move to the colors within a few minutes. In our own normal printing, key block goes on, and then sometimes it's even the next day before we put the next color on. And it has a chance to settle and doesn't smear. But in the print parties, there's no time for such a thing, so the key block always comes last in the print parties. It's also, too, with us, when the key block's first, we're using it to test registration. The print party attendees don't have a clue about registration, so it doesn't matter to them. I'm not speaking down to them, just simply they don't know what they're doing, so it's okay. And the other thing, too, is when they get to the end, put the key block in, it comes alive, and it's such a fun experience. Now, we talked about this when I was carving. There's an open space in the middle, and are people going to bang this with their barons? And the answer is yes. So we still have to decide what we'll have to do in an active print party. I myself have avoided it. I've come on the top and on the bottom, but print party attendees are going to rub all over the place. There's going to be pigment there. This may not work, you know, this is still an experiment. This may not work as a party print. We're going to press too hard right on that corner for sure. I don't know if this is going to work. Excuse me. Let's darken it up, see if it hurts the sky too much. I'd like the boats darker for sure, but I don't know if the sky gets too dark, I don't know. Well, we've got 4 sheets now. Let's pull it up a bit more. There's no point making these all the same. You know, I said before I should try and make 4 prints that are very different, but so much training, you know, you want to make them all the same. That's your job. So it's sometimes funny, you know. Subi-san, we happened this last time she was doing one of the hero sprints. She started with 6 sheets of a test batch, you know. And after she came to me with the 6 sheets, they were all exactly the same. I'm like, Subi-san, we're trying to make different colors. What are you doing? And she's like, well, you know. One idea that me and the staff were chatting about in advance of getting this thing done, while I was doing the carving still. One idea that we had. Well, the boats are a lot more woody, but the sky, I think that's just going to be too overbearing, you know. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. We'll see. This is what test printing is for. I should have saved that one for the last. Let's pull it down a bit here. Oh no, I'm sorry, sidetrack. One idea that we had for this thing is that if it turns out to be too difficult for the people to know where to rub, you know, when the first sheet went on a few minutes ago, when I put the first sheet on the back of that blue block, you can't see anything. You don't know where to rub. And then for this one, when you put this on for here, even though there's already a pattern, you don't know where to start or what to do. So what we are thinking of doing as an experiment is pre-printing the paper, the back side. This will be the print party paper. It actually doesn't have a front or a back. It's unisex, whatever. We're thinking about pre-printing it so that on the back side, in faint printing, there is an outline of the image on the back. And there's some numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, stuff like that. So that when we're standing here guiding the people, okay, here's this next block. This next block, it's number 2, 4, 6, 7. Please rub where you see the 2, the 4, the 6, and the 7. Giving them actually sort of a paint by numbers thing of where to rub. You're laughing at me, but that might actually make a huge difference in the quality of how the prints come out. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. We're going to get people through this, absolutely. Printing by numbers, nay, so. I've got to get going. We've got a party at 10 o'clock here, you know. And for sure, all these, I'm going to have to cut all of these down. That was a bit silly of me. I should have cut them away before. Yeah, the beaming down overlay, you know, that's a bit too high tech for us here, I think, you know. Number two, these blocks are all going to be at different locations on this bench. There's going to be 4 or 5 people printing at the same time. And we've got to give them help. We don't want to give them too much help. We don't want people walking out of here thinking like all they did was press a button and out came the print. They've got to feel like they actually made this thing, you know. So, and a big don't rub here in the middle. Yeah, good idea, good idea. Okay, there's 2 impressions. Oh, I need to take one more. That's right, I forgot already, right? I need to take one more for the just for the record of what we're doing here, 1 by 1 impressions. Okay, out goes this block. Next one, gray. Now this has got some color on it, and those of you who watched the stream the last few days, you know why this color, because we have to transfer this one in order to pick up the foam shapes. So this has already been tinted a little bit. Put the yellow brush away, wash off the tile. Bring out a gray brush. So this one doesn't need cleaning because we did it the other day. Now, what to do on this one? There's 2 ways we can do this. When we did the test printing the other day, you know, the test printing for transferring the foam, I just printed it in flat color. The whole sky printed flat because I needed to pick up the location of the foam. In the real image, there's no gray at the top here. This is a gradation block where there's gray here getting lighter and lighter and lighter up to the top. We are going to try printing it, I think, in a flat gray. Light flat gray, which is going to go over top of that brown at the sky up at the top. There's going to be another gradation on the print later, the one behind the mountain, and I don't think we could do a print party with 2 gradations. I don't think. We'll see. Now for pigment here. This also too, at the time of the party, I'm just going to use my black and put a tiny bit on the tile here, but at the party time we can't give them the black. They'll put way too much on. I might end up putting too much on here. It's hard to control. This one gets lots and lots of paste because it's such a wide area. If we do end up doing it as a gradation, we'll need a longer brush. I don't have any here in Asuxa. I've got some back in the Ome workshop, a longer brush. And we would end up doing it then, just brushing side by side by side by side by side which will put grey on this area and it would feather out at the top. But I don't have a long brush with me here today, so I'm just going to do the whole thing. That'll already be too much. Let's see. Maybe okay. Yeah, too dark, I think. And we've also got a gap here. Yeah, too dark, I think. Too dark. Also, I think we got a registration problem. How well you will know these blocks. I know all of our blocks. So this is the way our printmaker's job works, you know. I know these things. I know the original Great Wave. My God, I know every stroke and line of that thing. I traced it first over a period of a couple of months, traced every line. Then I carved it, cut every line, studied every line, printed it a bunch of times. I'm not the one who's doing the printing nowadays on that edition, but I printed it lots of times. I know that print like few people on this planet know that print, this print. It's a bit light. Okay, let's try this. Stream is online for 46 minutes. Is that, are you pushing me? Because I gotta, what do we got? We're okay, we're halfway. It's that last one, that gradation coming up is going to take a while. Anyway, whatever. This is another part that's going to be difficult for the attendees, controlling the moisture on the block. These are all wide areas. Our little Peach Boy print that we do, everything's a small area, it moistens easily, they don't have to worry about it. This is going to be much, much more difficult, you know. I really still don't know if this is going to work. I know it'll work for me can we actually get a print party out of this? I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Better, I think. That's okay. I think that's better. Also, what I did was, I don't think you can't really notice what I'm doing, was I think the registration is off here. And what I did was I manually pushed it out about a 0.3 millimeter here. So I'm going to have to adjust these. So at the moment I'm just manually pushing it out because that first one was off. I don't know if you can see it or not. This is the first one. We've got a white stripe here showing. The second one, we got it on. So I think when I was carving, I got a little overly enthusiastic there. All right, let's ride with this. Let's go, let's go, let's go. The share certificates are gone. They're gone, they're gone, they're gone. Share certificates are on their way, and they're mailed in a way that we think almost certainly they will get there safely and strongly. And I'm now facing, I got to make another batch for next month. I know the original first batch, I was 31 of them, because that was the people who started back on Patreon such a long time ago. And after that, there's going to be 3 or 4 each month as people who started month by month after that. I could also change patterns. We've got harder ones and softer ones. You know, that's a softer one. This is a harder one. That makes sense. Dry, look at that. I didn't get the block. See it? Beginner's mistake already. The block was dry at that corner. This is going to be a tough one. I don't know if this is a good idea, Dave. I really don't know if this is going to be a good idea. Whatever. The other problem with this thing too, you know, is when people do one of our other prints, the Peach Boy print or the Sensoji print or whatever, they have no idea. There's no master copy to guide from. So when they get to the end of the party, it's okay. Whatever they've done, it's okay. But this print, everybody knows what it's supposed to look like. So if the print they make doesn't match their expectations, then they're going to be unhappy. Okay, there's 4. I'm going to do one more for the record here. Keep this wet. and light. What was that bit of dry paper there? A bit of a happy little, what do we call it? I don't know. Happy. It's not a happy little tree. I mean, we need a new expression, eh? When do I get my PBS show? So. The thing is, in his work, with those paintings, they were one by one paintings. So an accident, a mistake could become clearly part of the painting. But with us, with printmaking, it's different. With our style of printmaking, it's different. This is reproductive printmaking. There's an image that we are trying to create. So that any accident, by definition, is a mistake, in our own world. The people coming to print parties, they don't care. It's fine. Lots of them say the same thing. Whoops, well, that's fun. It shows that it's handmade, whatever. But really, in our own world, a variation means a mistake. All right, moving along. What's next? Okay, what's next is the difficult one, the really, really difficult one. Let's get to it. The black sky gradation. Now. Let's see. The staff here has been asking me, Dave, how are the people going to know what to do? How can they make a gradation? Those of you who don't know how this is done, first let me wash the block. Let me wash the block first. Hang on a second. Yet another kind of gumpy peel. So. There's the leftover remnants of the gumpy sheet having served its purpose. Yeah, boss level or level 2 of a print party, or you're welcome to come and do it if you have already done one of our print parties. Can we really do that? Set that kind of a rule? Sorry, you can't do this. Come back next year after you've done your Peach Boy. I don't know if that's a practical thing to do. Yeah, I did it. I did the extra copy. Thanks for keeping me on my toes, but I did do it. Okay, gradations. You've seen me print a normal print. The brush rubs over the entire surface of the carved area, circular, round and round, this way and that way. The brush doesn't even matter. There's even color within the brush, there's even color on the block. That's a normal printing. For a gradation, it's different. Where we've marked the brush with one end has a designation, so we know. And what's going to happen here, we want dark black here, and we want nothing there. So the brush has to encompass the whole area from 100% up to nothing. And we will put pigment not on the block and not on the tile. We will put pigment on the brush itself. And what I'm going to do, the staff says, Dave, they will never get it. I'm going to give the instructions to the attendees. We're going to write on this block with a black magic marker after I get it worked up. We're going to draw a line here. A. I'm going to draw it on the uncarved areas, a thick black line. I'm going to draw a line here, B, the A line and the B line. It'll be thick black written on the block. The brush will be marked A, B. The people will be instructed. Here you go, after we get a pigment on, line up the A, line up the B, and you move sideways, sideways, back and forth, A along A and B along B, just like this, back and forth. Then your paper goes on and you print. And ideally, we will get some kind of gradation. Now on a real great wave print, it's not actually 100 gradating down to 0. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. It doesn't work like that. It's 100, it's 100, it's 100, then there's a gradation for about one centimeter, and then nothing. Now there's no way we can do that in a print party. Half of our staff can't do that yet. That's how difficult it is. So the gradation we're going to get here is going to be more of a generic gradation from black going up. The point being, though, we want nothing at the top and black at the bottom. And I also forgot to get my pad ready. Excuse me, I need another preparation. Back in one sec. The other part, excuse me, the other part of doing a gradation is the block has to be moistened in the area that the gradation is going to happen. And actually I forgot to build that and get that ready for you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a small little block of wood and wrap around it this kind of a strong paper towel. These paper towels, actually, we get them from Canada. They're for industrial use, people having workshops and stuff. It's not kitchen paper towels that dissolve easily. These things are actually like fabric. They don't seem to sell them in Japan. I don't quite know why. But we get them from Canada. Through Costco here. That's how it is. Anyway, long story short. I'm going to get a block of wood. How can I fake this here? Block of wood. And we're going to staple this stuff on. And I'm going to write again. A, B. A, B. So this will be sitting here on a clean tile. People will first rub this along A, B. And then go ahead with the pigment. I haven't done that yet, so I'm going to fake it today here. Sorry, I should have prepared everything a little bit more carefully. I'm going to fake it with a brush here. Just put a bit of moisture up in the area where the gradation is going to happen. That's the top side, the A, that's the B. On the top side, paste. On the bottom side, a little dab of black pigment. And here we go, the first test gradation on this thing. Which I should have got the block warmed up a bit more carefully first. Oh, I forgot to flip this stuff. Too much talking going on here today. Okay, let's do a test on it. I think it might work. Let's see. The block is too dry. Let's see. Paste. And paste. The other thing about a gradation too is that after you've done 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10, the pigment starts to creep up too high. And we've already talked about that with the staff. We're going to keep not just one brush, we're going to have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 brushes standing by. An unused piece of paper here. So that as each brush gradually gets unusable because of the creep, we'll just bring in a second one. What do you think, boss? What do you think? let's try one. Can't see the chat here. Tut, 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 tut. The coffee's already cold. Kawaii-san's coming this morning. He knows I'm testing this, and he's thinking like, "You've got to be kidding about this. You think this is going to work?" And I'm like, "Well, who knows?" Well, the phone line's up. It's really going to creep, you know, it's going to creep like crazy. I don't know, I really don't know. I'm going to flip these in here. I haven't been doing this up to now. The paper is getting really wet in one place where we did the sky. It's wet, 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 and it's not so wet here. So I'm going to flip them to try and let this get leveled out within the stack. In a real print party, what we're going to do, you saw me do the first three colors. After the first three colors, the blue, the sky, and the gray, we're going to take our coffee break in a real print party because the paper at that point desperately needs to get flattened again. The people think the coffee break is for them. It's not. The coffee break always in these print parties, the coffee break is for the paper. The people are just like collateral damage. We keep telling them as a joke. You can imagine a line drawn, B, A, B, A. People are going to be told to just stay on the lines, stay on the lines, stay on the lines, stay on the lines. A little bit of variation up, a little bit of variation down, a little bit of variation up, a little bit of variation down. That puts the fuzziness on the thing. Number 3. Coming way too up. See, I've let it come too far already. That's the one that had the scratch. And so even with me doing it already, it's creeping too far. That's interesting. Am I going to be able to keep them under control? I don't know. I don't know. This is what Kawaii-san was telling me. He said, "There's no way." He said, "After 3, 4, 5 prints, it's going to be all over the whole sky." And so let's see, let's get some paper here. Well, we're going to run test parties, of course, absolutely we're going to run test parties. In fact, probably the first test party attendee is going to be Cameron. It's going to be Cameron, can I ask you to help me with something for a few minutes here? Not today, he's off on the weekend. I'm just trying to knock off some of the black. Well, the first guinea pig absolutely will be the non-print making staff, absolutely. Stream that one with Cameron. I don't know, you got to give the guy a break, you know. I mean, he's a real nice guy. He's a bit of a gentle guy. He never complains about anything. I'm a bit afraid that sometimes I rag him a bit too much, and he might be actually sort of hurt but not saying anything. You got to remember to be sort of careful with people, you know. I'm not being specifically protective of him. He's just a normal guy. But it's easy sometimes to get a bit too easygoing and blah 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 blah, and yet somebody can actually be, you know, maybe not quite enjoying themselves as much as you think they're enjoying themselves. So you have to be careful, especially with employees, you know. Stuff can build up, and without you knowing it, people are sort of developing a bit of a, you know, I wish David wouldn't do that sort of a thing, you know. So you have to be careful. I'm not that good always at reading people's feelings and stuff. I tend to just barge ahead and smash ahead and bull ahead. So let's put it on that. Yeah, test sheet we still have from the other day. It's no registration, but it'll show what maybe it's like. Look, I think we've knocked back some of the black. We're not going to add more black. We're still running with the black that's on there. I've got one sheet left here, right? I can't remember. Okay, there's our 4 sheets. Again, heads and tails to try and help the moisture balance a bit. Flip them over. I've got to do one more sheet for the, can we get that first one maybe? That's a bit too high. We'll do one more sheet, trying to keep it a bit down a bit. Can't quite catch the chat here, sorry. We're getting wood grain too, same as we did on our real great wave printing. We got lots and lots of wood grain in the first few hundred copies, and after that, bit by bit, the wood grain is disappearing. We talked about it, it's sort of a bug or a feature, I don't know. We don't want wood grain to show at all. Our goal would be no wood grain, which sounds a bit funny for woodblock printmakers, but that's the goal for us. But the early copies of prints do show wood grain, and for some collectors, that's the ones they try and catch. How are we doing with time? We are running out of time. It's 9:12. Well, I'm down to the last block. What do we got? We got our 4 sheets here. I've got the sample 4 sheets. I'm still okay. I'm running ahead. Okay. 4 sheets. I really would like this paper to settle down a bit. It's not flat. It's all curved up, curved up, curved up, curved up. I would really like to have it sit down and get flat. I think, because I'm not going to go back, I think I'll use that brush I did for the first one. Now we need a darker, 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 darker blue. This is Prussian blue, the one they call Kinbero. I'm not sure if this is mixed a bit too thin. We'll see. We're about to find out. As I said, I would like the paper to have a few more minutes to lay flat, and also I think also there's another problem here in these print parties. The paper there has picked up water, picked up water, picked up water, picked up water, and it has expanded quite a bit. And one of the things that we have to do anyway in our break time on the parties is we have to try and check the moisture and make sure it's about the same as it was when we started. So the usual print party, people are very slow and the paper gets kind of dry. So the paper at the time of the break has shrunk a little bit. So while they're drinking our coffee, we and the staff, we put the water brush on this very lightly, and we put more water in the paper, and that expands it back up so that it's ready for the last block. Now these parties with the microwave may be different because those first few blocks add lots of moisture, that big gray one on the sky. That puts moisture in and the paper might be expanded a bit too much. So perhaps at the break time, our job will be to put dry sheets in between them and pull it back down. We don't know. We won't know until we try it. The one I've done right now, I'm suspecting that the paper now, because of that gradation I just did and because of the blue sky, I think the paper may have expanded a bit too much. And I would really actually like to pull it back down in size a bit. Let's just try this with the first top 2 sheets. Put a dry piece in between them. Just for as much as 30 seconds. That piece has now become wet, and we've pulled moisture out of those first 2 sheets. And this is not scientific at all, but it may have pulled it back down a little bit. We'll see. Anyway, okay, let's get some tests on this, see what the blue looks like. Too watery, I think. Let's see. Where's the brush? Which brush is it? This one? No. trying to get the block cooked up. You know, it's a dry block. You take a dry piece of wood and throw pigment on it, just soaks straight inside, bang. And even while you're printing, it's drying out. So by the time you've peeled your paper off, did you see the first one I tried it just a few minutes ago, right? Dry, 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 dry. You've got to get the block so it at least will stay stable during the length of time that you're taking your impression. So I'm feeding it, I'm watering it right now. We're getting the brush loaded, we're getting the block moistened. This is what we normally do in our print parties while the people are getting their coffee and stuff. The person who's the host stands there chatting with the people while they're drinking their coffee, and the host gets the key block ready because it takes 4 or 5 minutes to get the right amount of moisture in it. Okay, maybe I'll try one here. Let's see. I can see the part where I repaired it too. It's shining. Let's try one. What have I got to lose? Paper definitely not flat enough. Okay, here we are, the first ever microwave. What do you think, guys? What's your diagnosis? I don't know if this is going to work. Let's see. You should be hearing some bells any moment now. Kawai-san's here today. Kawai-san and Nakamura-san are going to be the staff today. We won't hear a bell because the bell is in the back room. We're here in the print party room. That part where I fixed it, can you see it? Somewhere around here I fixed it. I can't see it. Oh, here we go. Footsteps. The bell. Kawai-san. 違う、Nakamura-san. He's putting the flags out. What do you mean, I did not expect that, he writes. What is this? Who are you? I did not expect that. Or you mean, you didn't expect it to be that bad? Hide the paper? Okay. Hide the paper. Okay, good idea. Hide. Should we tell them it's the first one coming off? Come on, Kawai-san, my block is drying. Get up here. I'm wearing out the block already. Kawai-san! Timing, come look! もう今、テストです。試し刷り。ちょうど重版になったよ。今までは色。もう I put 3 colors in. 3色入ってますが、これから重版。Come and say hello. Hello to the stream here.
Hello, good morning.
Come on over this side.
これ初めて？
今最初。
ブルーさんも初めて？
うん、そう。今試し刷りでしょ。Come on in. At the print party bench, there's a space at this left side where usually when the attendees are doing this for the first time, the staff is standing beside them. This is going to be difficult.
硬いですね。色
ぼかしとか。
それブリさん当たり前。
それそう。
ブリさんで
He
きた
says I'm good, you know, yeah. 結構難しい。武器の人は絶対できない。紙の示しも難しいでしょ。見える。もう今しばしばになる。
この紙そうですね。
ぼかし入れるときにそう。
チャラーおー
ちょっと too much でしょ。黒が入れすぎですね。Also, we need a deeper blue, I think. I've got to make a deeper blue. There's a bit too much water in this one.
ブリさんのうちのブリさんの波裏だったら、もうちょっと濃い
そう。
ちょっと
ちょっと墨入れた方がいいかな。Should we try that? Put a dab of black inside?
そうなんだ。
結構
これでも黄色のあれこの色でも混ざってるちょっと空のいい感じです。
今船と一緒ですね。そう、それは悪くはないですね。そう。ちょっと too much かな。I put some black into the blue. That's the first thing he said. The blue's too light, so put some black in it. He's right.
比べてみると。
So, deeper blue or darker blue? I don't have any
明るい方
stronger.
が好きとかいう人もいるかもしれない。
そう
ちょっと暗すぎても逆にプリントパーティーだから。
Yeah. I think I need to make the blue actually a bit deeper in the bowl. I've made it a bit darker now by adding a bit of black, but it doesn't really make it deeper. It just makes it darker. 今黒入れたんですが、ブルーはちょっと濃くできないですから。でもとりあえず試しですね。But the paper's not flat. ね、もう平らじゃないでしょ。だから本当にat the break time, we really look at this. At the break time, we really have to work hard to get the paper flat. 今休憩時間ないんですが、そう。
もうしょうがないっていうか。
いや、休憩は大変ですね。そう。
あれ、ぼかし最後休憩してぼかし。
その考えもありますね。What he's suggesting is because the paper isn't flat here now, we could maybe do the key block in the fourth stage and save the gradation for the fifth stage. そう。でしょ？文字もありますね。忘れちゃった。だけど、ソロのぼかしは最後。オモハンは4回。Okay, this is a darker blue now. I think that's better. Look at that. It's got to be deeper still, but it's a bit more black inside. Look at this. Holy crap. Holy crap. Look at this. Woo! 空がちょっと見えないでください。Don't look, don't look, don't look. Happy accident. How we do for time? 9:26. We are running out of time. So I need more of the Prussian blue. So I don't have any right now. What I've got is got too much water inside, and I can't take the water out. So yes, we will mix a deeper pigment in the bowl. It's also going to cover here. Look at this. People are going to hit this. We've got to cut deeper there. I didn't want to go past the plywood layer, but we have to forget that and go deeper. We're going for the 100 minutes. We're not going for any time. We're just trying to get this done. There's a print party happening in this room 25 minutes from now. And we've got a hell of a mess here. 10時からパーティーですね。4人ですね。そう、夜の間に4じゃない？増えた。
で、1時にまた4人になって。
あ、そう？ 1時4人？1人？
17ですよね。10時3人。
あ、10時3人？はい。
1時が13って入ってます。13。
あ、そうか、4人になった。そうか、そうか。
3、4、
So certainly needs to be darker blue, absolutely. Should I try printing that twice, just for fun, just to see what it might look like? We can't do this in a party, but I'll just try it right now, just for quick fun. Doing a double impression here. Taking my life in my hands, because that paper is expanding as I sit here. ちょっと遊ぶために。
もし濃かったらってことですか。
遊ぶために。Yeah, so we definitely need deeper, darker pigment. So I printed this twice, which we can't do in the party. But look at this. Okay, but if we're going to do that deeper, then the other blue has to come up. There's too much contrast. 今この blue 薄すぎでしょ? If we're going to make this blue that dark, the other blue has to come up more. The sky is fine. The boats could be darker. The gray could be darker. So we definitely need the other blue to come up more.
結構桃太郎とかべていろんなバランスちゃんとやらないと美しさですごい差が出そうですね。これ僕は絵の具のあれと調整がちょっと難しそうですね。多少いろんな波裏になりそうな感じ。
Oh, I forgot. We're supposed to take a single impression. So, what is it? Let's look this up. Yeah, last I need to take a single impression here for the record. All right, I don't know what to think here. You know, the blocks do work. The print works. Careful, palette thing. But whether beginner attendees will be able to make a print out of this, I don't know. If I had my choice about this, I would reserve this purely for people who have already had some experience and who did a good job on the first time round. But I'm not going to have that freedom. We've got a reservation page going up, and anybody in the world will click that button and decide to come here. 絶対子供は無理ですよ。絶対。子供は無理。子供。So, what we will have to do is say no kids. People keep coming here with kids, and it's sometimes. No, I don't want to do that. I just don't want to make a mess. You know. This is. I don't care. Yarita, I don't care. Just no kids, no kids, no kids. It's just frustrating for us. They get little people coming here and make a reservation. We've got on the webpage 10 and up. They make a reservation with like 5-year-old, 4-year-old kids. And they come in and say, oh, my little Angel, she can do a really good job. And then Angel tries to do it with the staff, and Angel says, no, I can do it by myself. Like Mommy tries to help. Angel says, no, I can do it by myself. And it's a freaking disaster. So for this one, no kids.
R15 歳
I don't know what to do. Okay, there we have it. Okay. I am happy with this. I still don't know if it's going to work. What did I do with the first one I made? Hey, it's in here. There we go. There we are. Yeah, testing. To do 2-day course. All right, there we are. I have got to clean up now. Sorry, I'm in a rush now. It's 9:31. It's going to take 8 wires, cables, pigments. The Momotari print hasn't got done. There we are testing with our microwave print. The block set works. A nice print can be taken from it. Whether or not people can do it in a print party remains to be seen. Testing will show. Even just as I was doing it now, variation, a little bit of pigment at the edge. We've got to clean that up. The black is cutting a bit too far here, I think. The foam lines up. Oh, look at this. You can clearly see. This is what test printing is all about. Good sky, sky too dark, sky too light. That was the test. So, out of these, this is good. But again, within a print party, there's going to be much more variation than this. That's number 1. I think there we are. This is the one that's about the goal to shoot for. Lower blue definitely has to come up more. Boat's going to be stronger, but that will make the sky stronger. I don't know. Anyway, there we are. Thank you, guy. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Yeah, I've got to correct the Kento. Don't worry, there's lots and lots of work for me to do on these. A lot of places have to be cut deeper. I've got to change that registration mark. Maybe tomorrow's stream I'll be back with those blocks back in that room on my carving bench fixing them. We have not seen the end of these blocks yet. I've got lots of work to do. This is test number 1, and it's shown that we can get something out of these. The next test now will be with people who don't know how to print. Some actual stress testing with sample visitors. And what happens during that test is going to determine what the future of these is. It could be that simply it doesn't work with inexperienced people. I don't know. We'll give it a try. I think somebody asked in the stream earlier, are these going to be for sale in the shop? No, not at all. This is simply for the print parties. This is not an item that we would sell at all. It's carved very simplistically. It's not a thing we think of as a work of art that we would like to sell in the shop. There we have it. Okay, gang. Thanks very much. Today's Sunday. I will be streaming tomorrow. My dosa calendar is building up, so it might be a sizing stream tomorrow. It might be fixing these blocks tomorrow, or it might be something I don't even know about yet that's just going to hit me blindsided. We'll see. Okay, guys. Thanks so much. Thanks for watching. It's been very rambly, but I think it's been fun. It's been fun for me. See you next time. Oh, before I go, how did it turn out today? I didn't even actually check myself. Oh, good one today. We're going to hit 8. One of these days, we're going to push that over 8. We'll see. See you later. Bye-bye. See you later. Bye-bye. Stop stream button is